Bozo Cow here once again going in with the second game from round 2 of the qualifier. We got YoloSwaggins versus Garmilator, and he's actually changed colors, do you notice? I think he's doing that to hide air tech, which is what Garmilator always does, but as you can see the colors are still a little bit different there. It's pretty funny. Or actually, wait, did he change colors? No, I'm not even sure. He did a thing. Anyway, map again is going to be Fire-based Krill. And I gotta say, Garmilator definitely the favorite right here. But he is out of practice. We did not see him in round 1, so it's very hard to say how he's going to perform. YoloSwaggins is already warmed up. He's played a match Garmilator had a bye on the first round. And so, you know, upsets happen. We could see something crazy, but Garmilator is still definitely the favored player in this case. Our most prolific LAV rusher in the game. And what is he getting? LAV fabrication? Of course he is. He may not try for an LAV rush against YoloSwaggins, seeing as he is coalition. Often the CVC early game begins with some AAVs and such, but we'll have to see. And you know what I just realized? You know how last game I had you like stare down into the abyss there? Why is there a light on here? Isn't this like an abandoned fire base? I feel like all the lights would be off. I don't know, but anyway, typical homeworld, giving you kind of a sense of scale of this base here though, like that's really deep. It's really deep. Oh look, there's even like a little light beam effect coming off of it there. It's pretty cool. Right, stuff is happening. You can hear the massive beeping, or what did I say? The very high beeping frequency as both players trying to micro their probes and not lose them. Garmilator's probe took a little bit more damage there, but they're both going to see, oh hey, we're doing the same thing to each other there with the base runners. And actually their strategies are remarkably similar. They've got 2 long distance mining on CUs, they've got LAVs coming out, they both have their base runner in the other side here. It looks like we're looking at like a mirror image right here, so that's really funny. And actually, to add some context to that, YoloSwaggins told me he's been watching lots of replays of Garmilator. He's been watching how he plays, and he's kind of trying to emulate that himself. So it's not really that surprising that we would see this, but I still think it's pretty funny. Yolo going for the Assault Pack, Garmilator going for the Armor, and of course the Assault Pack gives you speed, but it does not directly affect combat in the beginning. Also, he's not going to be expecting these LAVs to be coming here, because of course he's moving there with them. He did scout them there. He saw the LAV, so he knows that they're there. He may have clicked on them and seen the armor upgrade as well. It's very much not like Garmilator to get upgrades at all, let alone to get an armor upgrade right in the beginning game. So I think he's doing this to try and take this fight here. He trades 1 for 1. He's got the high ground here, and he has the armor advantage. And he's setting up a turret there. I think I would have waited a bit on the... Oh, the base burn is very damaged, so I guess that's kind of forced. Turret's going to claim the life of 1 more LAV operator, or maybe 3, I don't really know how many are in there. Anyway, another LAV goes down right there. And Garmilator will take this fight eventually, though he is pushed off of his second by the turret from Yolo. But once he gets the support cruiser, that won't matter. I actually think Garmilator's play here is a little bit surprising, and I think it's a bit sharper as well. He should probably push in here. No, well, he's not producing any more LAVs. He stopped there, and he made the support cruiser, so... This may even be an eco feint. This is like, I can't catch up with the mind games here. But he's definitely taking this fight pretty well. If I were Yolo, I would boost out of here right now. Because you know you can't take this fight. Not until you get the numbers advantage. Garmilator perhaps considering setting up another turret here, but the carrier for Yolo is already moving out. That would be a bit of a mistake. He sees it too, so he's probably not going to set up he set up the turret. Interesting. This covers this retreat pretty well, though. Yolo got armor 2. Oh, wow. So that's why Yolo boosted in there, is because he just got armor 2, actually. So he's definitely going to be able to take this fight. And he will. But look at the eco damage that's being done now, as he's long-distance mining off of his main. You contrast this with Garmilator, who's pushing out with his carrier to weed out the turret, and he has a support cruiser on his main, so his eco is way better at this point. Wow. What an interesting opening. It's not what we expect to see from Garmilator. Normally he goes for like a double base runner AAV opener against Coalition. Yolo making the right move with his base runner right here though. I gotta say, I really approve of this. He's basically just saying like, okay, you can take out this turret, but then I'll come over to your main. But Garmilator's got a couple of LAVs here. He's gonna cover it, and he is now getting... No, he's not getting any tech. I think you should go for AAV fabrication. If you saw the number of upgrades that your opponent has, You know he used boost, so that one can even be visually seen. But then if you click on them, you can also see he's got armor 4 there. And there we go. No, wait, no, that's Yolo. I've done this before. Yeah, so Garmilator's still not getting any armor upgrade, or sorry, any unit tech just yet. He seems to just be relying on his carrier. I'd really like to see him get AAV fabrication, but we will have to see. This base runner's turret ideas are denied quite thoroughly. And Garmilator was not able to pick up an artifact because of the damage on his base burner, so he's just going to have to send it back to base to get healed. So no artifact pickups are going to be done in this first part of the game right here. Garmilator probably going to lose a drone there. There you go. These drones were having a party, and then these rude LAVs showed up and just shot him. It's pretty messed up. Anyhow. But Garmilator at the eco advantage, but only slightly. His opponent is at a similar point now. I'm curious what he's going for here, because he hasn't teched to anything just yet, and YoloSwaggins is going to have AAVs pretty soon. I mean, I was sure he would tech to either railguns or AAVs, and he's got the money for it. He's had it for a long time now. There we go, he's finally getting railgun tech, but it seems like that's just so much later than I was expecting. Yolo going for carrier protection upgrade. Garmilator can't get that just yet. He might honestly be able to just win like the LAV fight here. We know Garmilator only has armor 1 on his LAVs. He's getting the boost now, but with armor 2 on these LAVs from YoloSwaggins, this would definitely be Yolo's fight, not to mention he's got AAVs there. And he can double produce, you know, 2 at a time. Well, I mean, that's what double means. I hope you knew that. Little backstab coming in here for Garmilator, and has not been spotted just yet. This AAV running into this the back line right there. That's a nice move. So these LAVs going to be scouted now by YoloSwaggins. He knows they're there. He's got an AV though. He'll cover the support cruiser. That's no problem for him really. Good smoke coming down from YoloSwaggins. I always like seeing that. Wait, good. Actually, it missed. No, it's good. It's good. And a little small scuffle takes place over here, but Yolo's just fine. He's not going to lose anything there. Support cruiser kind of overreacts and backs up a little too far, but it's not a big deal. This AV going to come in here, but he'll meet the carrier, who is quite powered up at this point. And so definitely no eco damage going to be done, I don't think. Well, I say that as this salvager is like literally dying. Never mind. So he is going to get 1 salvager pickup right there. That's nice for him. But he's really just slowing down the expansion now. Yolo, meanwhile, making his support cruiser already, and I don't think Garmilator is. So Yolo actually probably is a little bit ahead in terms of economy now, which is kind of an interesting twist, because Garmilator should be ahead. He was ahead in the early game. But somehow he's actually gotten behind here. Both players stacking quite a lot of RUs. They could try for an air transition, but I think Garmilator's going to use them on railguns. He's only made 1 so far. But he probably knows that he doesn't have the upgrade lead in the LAVs, though he does have the numbers very slightly. And Yolo going for power reserves as well. Or you could say he's going for power reserves too. I'm sorry. Both players kind of want to pick up this artifact right here, but he's just going to go with YoloSwaggins for sure. Can't push in though because of the turret here. As this AAV goes flying into the air, he's going to learn that. Oh my gosh! Who is driving this AAV? You guys are crazy. Anyway, that one almost goes down, but not quite. A little bit of damage done to the base runner, but Yolo will successfully escape with that artifact. And that's good, because that's the one that's closest to Garmilator's extraction zone. Garmilator probably going to come in and pick up this one as well after that. But he really needs to get another support cruiser, or maybe he doesn't. He's Garmilator, he likes to go for 2 base plays, but I think it's not going to turn out well for him, especially if he's relying this heavily on LAVs, of which his opponent has better upgrades and almost the same number. I can't quite see how many it is. Let's see, it's 11 to 17. Yeah, he does not have quite almost the same number, but still, I mean, he's got better upgrades. I would like to see him get the damage upgrade as well. I think that could be really effective. I don't know. I really don't think Garmilator can take this fight. And the railgun gets sniped there with a nice boost. That was excellent from what's his face from YoloSwaggins. Boost is ready on Garmilator. No, it's not actually. He used the boost to get over to that area, so he's not going to be able to chase down and capitalize either. And there's AAVs in the area. No railguns on the field at all for Garmilator. Power Reserve 4 coming out, so he's just completely ignoring, you know, the pressing issues of like, oh, I need actually money and, you know, units, and just saying, no, I'm just going to get power reserves. I think the longer they go here, the more YOLO is going to start to realize, like, hold up, I have the upgrade lead, why don't I just spam LAVs and I can win? Yep, there you go. And I think, you know, he's teched into railguns, as you can see. I think one of the bigger reasons for that might just be to get that carrier production upgrade and just spam LAVs. He would win in that case. Garmilator going to have the high ground, so this would be a pretty nasty fight for YOLO to take. And you saw him drop a turret over there, so he's still on cooldown in the base front. He may drop another turret right here, though. Logistics module going to go down, and that's a nice pickup for Garmilator. Only loses like 2 LAVs, maybe even just 1. So he's finding a good angle for these LAVs. And he's going to boost out now, despite the fact that they are, of course, not as good as YOLO's. But now the numbers are beginning to go into YOLO's favor. No, they're not. I'm so good at casting, guys. Literally everything I say is true. Yeah, Garmilator on Power Reserve 4 now. But I don't really see any good cruise missile targets either, you know what I mean? This support cruiser is slightly weak, so that one he could go for, perhaps. But I mean, I don't think Power Reserve 5 is going to win the game for him either. I'm really just kind of surprised he doesn't go for, like, railguns, or he didn't go for railguns and try to push in earlier. And just now getting a support cruiser out, he can take a third base, or he can try to push out with his carrier. I'm not sure which he'll do. Let's see. Third support cruiser is coming out for YoloSwaggins as well as Power Reserve 4 very shortly. Power Reserve 5 on the way for Garmilator, so that's going to be cruise missile time. It's our favorite time, and he does have an artifact extraction. So his carrier definitely overpowering his opponents. But, you know, YOLO did get railgun fabrication. He has railguns ready to produce as well. That's not going to be a problem for him. He's also scouted these turrets. I think he knows about both of them with his probe there, so that's not going to be a problem for him either. Support cruiser anti-air not finished for either player, but there's no air units on the way either, so probably not going to play a big factor, but it is notable that they trust well enough in knowing what their opponent is doing not to get that one, so it is an expensive tech after all. If you can get away with not getting it, you should. That's kind of how it works, but it's always a little risky. AV's going to run in here, try to find some LAVs to pick off, but the carrier is there and it's quite nastily powered up. These guys need to smoke, I think, but... See, my thought there is, like, this AV died, you know, it can't use smoke now anyway, so you might as well use smoke when you're retreating like that, otherwise it might just get wasted, you know what I mean? So, like I thought, Garmilator is just going to push out with his carrier, and YOLO's going to push out as well, but that's not good for him, I don't think, because he certainly doesn't have as much power, he doesn't have the cruise missile. This could be a real bad fight for YOLO if he takes it. I think he knows, he's backing away. Cruise missile is going to get launched early though, and it's against the eco. Kaboom. Takes out the support cruiser and all of the salvagers there. That is a bad loss for YOLO, but it's a gain for him in some ways, just knowing that that cruise missile is not going to be used against him now. And Power Reserve 5 finishing for him very soon. This could even be like a carrier snipe maybe, but there's not really that many railguns, I don't think. Or like that much of a railgun lead for him to be able to snipe the carrier immediately. Garmilator's starting to catch up in upgrades for his LAVs, but he does have fewer of them. This time I'm right, aren't I? No, I should just stop even trying to talk. Cruise missile is going to get launched here against the carrier. It's going to catch a bunch of railguns too, though, I think. Well, no, it's not. But that carrier is very low now. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe he can go for a carrier snipe at this point. Garmilator needs to power up the armor as fast as possible. He doesn't have any AAVs to smoke either. Ooh, this is quite risky now. Armor is not getting powered up. There's still vision on this carrier. getting over the dune now, but as he pops up here, the railguns are going to get a shot again. I think he could go down. Okay, he's powering up the armor. That is good for him. LAVs are streaming by the carrier to try to take out those railguns as fast as possible. What are the upgrades like for YoloSwaggins? Heavy vehicles too. So he's not going to die that quickly. And the chase for this carrier is just continuing. And it's really on low health. He could die here. If YOLO catches up to him, and he will. Oh, the carrier's getting caught on the terrain, as it always does. The stupid coalition carrier pilot has no idea what he's doing. I told Garmilator earlier I feel like it handles like a washing machine. He's gonna try to run this way now. Ooh. Maybe it'll work for him, I don't know. But YOLO has a lot of power in the weapons there. And there's still a couple of railguns here, and all of the LAVs... No, wait, no, oh wait, these are Garmilator's railguns, never mind. Maybe this will work for him, maybe he can get out, but... Oh, we're in Garmilator's base right now. I was totally thinking we were in YOLO's base for some reason. Garmilator's carrier's still alive now. Now it looks like he'll be killing YOLO here. And yeah, it looks like YOLO's carrier must go down at this point. If he backs away from Garmilator, then Garmilator can launch the cruise missile on him as well. Wait, what? No! YOLO is launching the cruise missile first! He wins! He takes the game! No way! I can't believe it. Oh man. He actually won there. Didn't Garmilator have a cruise missile ready? I think he was backing away to fire it, but maybe it would have been better to stay on top of YOLO that time. Oh my gosh. What a game. YoloSwaggins actually wins. Okay, I was really not expecting this at all, guys. This is crazy. I mean, Garmilator is one of the best players in the world, you know what I mean? I did say he might have been out of practice, but I really did not expect an upset right here. Well, nicely done, YOLO. Nicely done. I gotta say, the early game that Garmilator played was very good, but he didn't go to 3 bases off of the back of it. He instead tried for, like, mass LAV, which, I mean, it worked. He had field control, but he was never going to be able to push because of these AAVs. 3-base YoloSwaggins made enough railguns to really almost get a carrier snipe straight out, but eventually push him all the way back to his base, and then this happened. I mean, that was just ridiculous, but he won? Well, excellently done, YoloSwaggins. Excellently done. You deserved that one. You deserved that one. Oh wow, actually this title card is quite nice here. Is it a title? That's not a title card. Why did I say that? But the point is, you can see the difference in economy right here. Like 3,000 more CUs collected here, and they were all spent. So that's really one of the reasons I think YoloSwaggins was able to pull that out. I mean, that was essentially 3,000 CUs of railguns on the field there, and they did so much damage to Garmilator, he was able to get that kind of a kill. It's just hilarious, but... How funny. How funny.